Hi people, it's me again, obviously, Moreno Regenberg as always and as usual. You can see what time it is regarding the header or the title of this video. I am going to discuss the truth and facts about ritual baths. Hold on for a second. Let me just move the camera a bit more into the background. This is better. Stay in focus, please, camera. Okay, yeah. So now, a ritual bath is simply a bath that is performed as a means of cleansing oneself from negative energy. Before I continue, you can find a very interesting article of mine called Self-Cleansing Techniques. You'll find this video embedded in that article, and you'll also find a bunch of other links to interesting things. For example, types of ritual baths and whatnot, you name it, stuff like that. These are very simplistic in nature in general, although they're also used by heavy-duty practitioners or practitioners within a heavy-duty context. And what else can I say? These ironically, there is not a lot to say about these ritual baths. The purpose of these baths is to cleanse yourself from negative energy, provided that you have negative energy on you. But it is impractical somewhat. It all depends on your perspective. If you're someone that wants to get the job done yourself with as little resources as possible and as little knowledge as possible on how to cleanse yourself from any potential negative energy that has befallen you or that was already with you, for whatever reason, regardless of the source, then I would say have at it. But do make the proper, take proper note of what you need to do and make the proper preparations, etc. I simply want to state for the record, for people that might have thought, hey, have you ever done, something like that for a customer of yours or similar, or for yourself? No, or better said, no and yes. I'll get to that in a second, but the answer is no. When I work purely in a remote fashion, if someone comes to me and the person tells me, hey, I am afraid that I have a lot of negative energy on me, can you check point 1 and point 2? If there is negative energy within me, like a curse or some form of negativity, just any kind of astral or spiritual dirt that is in me, I would like it removed permanently, please. I do it remotely, metaphorically speaking. I do this, beep, and it's done. That's the way I prefer working, purely remote. No physical contact or activity is necessary, because you do have practitioners, especially those that practice witchcraft and folk magic. They do stuff like that. They primarily make use of these cleansing techniques where a ritual bath comes into play. Now, within my country of residence, so Suriname, they call it wasi. Wasi simply means to wash yourself, but it refers specifically to a spiritual bath. And how it works in general is that someone that practices witchcraft will essentially get a bunch of herbs and other necessary implements, or better said, he's going to tell you to obtain those herbs and whatnot, and he is going to essentially subject you to a bath. He's going to make a concoction, some kind of spiritual bath, and then he's going to bathe you. And the purpose of the bath, it can be for a one time or it can be for successive days. The purpose of all of that is to cleanse you from whatever affliction you have, whatever spiritual affliction has befallen you or similar. Again, in that article, Self-Cleansing Techniques, you can read upon how to do it yourself. Other than that, I am going to discuss briefly a bunch of interesting things such as egg cleansing, for example, types of ritual baths, types that I could find online. Egg cleansing, which is very popular in Latin America, for example, or with Hispanic people. They call it huevo limpia, literally just means clean egg, or egg cleaning, just egg cleansing, honestly. It simply involves rubbing an egg all over your body and then breaking the egg in a glass of water, for example, and the way that the egg looks, the egg yolk specifically, the way that the yolk looks will essentially convey information. I found a bunch of interesting things about it, that it stems from ancient Greece, if I'm not mistaken. It is officially called oomancy. Oo essentially is simply the Greek word for egg, and oon, and manteia is divination. So it's literally just egg divination. And yeah, you can read all upon it for yourself in the description of this video. I'm going to link everything that I discuss and a couple of other interesting things, anything and everything I can find that might be of interest to anyone that is seriously interested in this topic. You can find it either linked in this video or in the article that you can also find linked in this video, one of the two or both. Now it's better to link it in the article, so yeah, I'm gonna link it in the article right below where this video is embedded, so you can find it for yourself. Now, I come back to what I said earlier. Yes, I have done an egg cleansing in my life back in the day when I was still a, so to speak, normal person, and I had no magical proficiency, and I had to deal with nothing but devastating levels of negativity. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's someone honking, but the person isn't in front of my house. So I don't know what the person is doing. I'm not going to bother with the person. Anyways, as I was saying, when I was still a so-called normal person, essentially, and I had the weight of the world on my shoulders, literally and figuratively, then, and I had no magical proficiency, I had to make use of spellcasters. I want to say like myself, but obviously that's only in a matter of speaking, definitely not literally. Either way, I had to make use of spellcasters, and they essentially helped me out with things. And one of them, a black guy, he was Haitian. I think he practiced voodoo or Haitian necromancy, and he was here for a short amount of time. And he performed a cleansing for me, an intense cleansing, and I had to show up a couple of days, honestly. I think I had to show up for like 4 days successively, and I had to pay him a lot of money. Well, back then it was a lot of money, especially for me. And I got the job done. He actually did it. And yeah, what can I say? It does have merit. Obviously, it has merit. In the sense that, yeah, when the eggs were essentially broken open, but with me it was a lot more intense because there was a concoction created, a bath filled with different kinds of herbs like lemons, grapefruit, I think, something along those lines, honestly. Essentially cleansing properties, things that contain cleansing properties, salt, you name it. And I had to wear like an African cultural, not a dress, a robe, a male robe. And essentially the ritual was also assisted by spirits. These guys work that way. By these guys, I mean guys that generally speaking practice witchcraft and that carry out ritual baths. They essentially get the instructions from the spirit or spirits that they work with, as in, hey, this person, do a ritual bath for the person, just cleanse the person, and I'll oversee the ritual and whatnot and blah blah blah. And the guy did that. As far as I could understand, the guy worked with 3 dead women of also Haitian origin, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it did work to the point where my entire body started convulsing at a certain point, and I kept puking, etc. And I had to keep like a mantra. I had to keep reciting, I want to be a normal person. I want all the negativity that is latched onto me to simply disappear. I want all the pain and misery to be gone. I want any kind of bad luck or curse that has befallen me to disappear, blah blah blah, etc., etc. The whole citation thing. And yeah, when the moment came and they had to break open those eggs, I do remember, despite the fact that it was lifetimes ago, how long ago was this? 2010? Before that even, 2008 or 2009. So essentially 14 years ago? A decade and a half ago approximately. Yeah, and I distinctly remember spots of blood in those eggs, as in you could legitimately clearly see blood in those eggs, like red, just plain blood, end of story. And yeah, I also noticed that when I was given those eggs to rub all over my body, I felt how strong those eggs were. They became completely hardened after that whole ritual. And it took, I think, all of my strength to crack a simple egg with one hand. I really had to put all of my power behind it. And like I said, when I broke it open, then not the way you usually break it open when you boil an egg, or when you want scrambled eggs, like with a fork or with some other form of cutlery. No. Literally just you have to break it open with your bare hands. Well, specifically within the context of the way that this guy worked, I simply followed his instructions, crack, and yeah, I saw that the yolk had blood on it or in it. So yeah, the thing had merit, and after that, all of that effort, I did notice results. Life did go better, not a lot, but things did go better, or things went better in any case for me, in life overall, at the very least temporarily. And yeah, what else can I say? And yeah, that brings me to my second point, and I think my last point. I'm going to explain how all of this works, because a lot of people have no idea how this stuff works. No offense to them, but they're either too stupid or they're too ignorant or something similar. But yeah, that's why I'm here. Not that I think highly of myself, but I don't care who thinks that. I literally don't care. As always. Or as usual. How these ritual baths work is that they have cleansing properties, the likes of which I again describe in the article I mentioned, self-cleansing techniques. By default, things like salt, citrus or lemon, so the actual acidic thingy that I'm talking about, lemon, not the kind of lemon you can bite into, no, a sour lemon, that kind of lemon, and a bunch of other things, honey. These kind of things have cleansing properties, but salt and lemon and garlic are definitely the most aggressive ones, or the ones that are more, generally speaking, superb for getting the job done. I think cinnamon as well, and it just goes on. In any case, yeah, by default, the finest example is salt. Okay, salt, the same way that salt cleanses anything physically, it also does so spiritually. So the way that these ritual baths work is that bath itself contains spiritual properties. That bath itself has spiritually cleansing properties due to the implements or the herbs and whatnot and all the other tools that have been embedded in said bath, or that the bath is comprised of or made up of. And it's simply a matter of rinse and repeat. It's like washing your body, but instead of washing your physical body, you're washing your astral body. And if your body isn't clean in one wash, the same way that if you took a shower, you notice that, hey, your body isn't clean, you smell horribly, for example, and you took a shower and you still smell like crap, then you're going to take a shower again and again and again and again and again until the smell is finally gone, honestly. Or you're going to become more aggressive. You're going to start bathing with more aggressive properties, just like what I said, with salt, for example, with tomatoes, something that will take care of that stench. Bottom line is you're going to keep at it. It's rinse and repeat, literally rinse and repeat. It's the same thing, but it happens on the astral instead of on the physical. This definitely helps with anything like that. But bear in mind that as effective as this is also not something of a wondrous nature. Don't expect miracles as in, oh, okay, I'm immediately cleansed, hallelujah, oh, happy day. No, listen, if a really powerful sorcerer messes with you, there is a limit. Hypothetically speaking, there is a limit to everything, and that includes the extent to which these ritual baths will help. They will, generally speaking, take care of any kind of miscellaneous energy that has been placed on you. of a moderate strength. But you can take 1,000 baths, and that still will not mean that, for example, you'll automatically be healed from every affliction. No. It essentially, a ritual bath is the most practical and the most effective for low-level energies or energies of an intermediary nature. So actual energies that have latched onto you, like astral parasites, for example, a curse, the evil eye. In any case, negative energy that was sent your way and that has essentially latched onto you and has infected you, like a disease, for example. Okay, the same way that a parasite can infect any person with a disease, dengue, malaria, you name it, in that context. But don't expect this to be some kind of wondrous, miraculous healing method that will automatically take away every problem that you can possibly have and then some. No. You need to be realistic, obviously. I mean, the fact alone that I have to bring this up is honestly metaphorically laughable in itself, in its own right, but yeah, whatever. Anyways, continuing on how this works. Other than that, you also have, for example, variations, like I said, where you go to a spellcaster, someone that practices witchcraft, especially people that practice cultural witchcraft, and then they go to, what the guy will do is he will guide you to a specific location, per the instructions of the spirit or spirits that he works with. And when you're there, usually there are no implements involved, so no cleansing properties or things that can classify as cleansing properties, such as the aforementioned, like salt, etc. All the stuff I mentioned. He or she is simply going to tell you to take a bath in an appointed river, for example, on a specific day, at a specific time, for example, while he oversees everything, and it's rinse and repeat. You have to keep coming back on specific days, and you have to keep doing it, and he'll give you any other instructions that you need to follow. And what else can I say? That's essentially it. That's how it works. And how that works specifically, like I said, simply the part where you're appointed is that spirit specifically either knows that specific part of the river has spiritually cleansing properties, or that spirit himself has familiars there, or other subservient spirits or partner spirits, affiliates, if you will, that will get the job done. And it just goes on, These are simply two examples. Those are already enough. Compare that to, for example, the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram and the banishing ritual of the hexagram. These two combined are the basic, the basic banishing technique, but it's a difference. Banishing is used for cleansing, but banishing and cleansing aren't one and the same. Cleansing only removes the negative. Banishing removes everything, so negative as well as positive, etc. Although, if your intent is to only remove the negative, then yes, it will remove the negative only and it will leave the positive alone. But understand that by default, by nature, the LBRP and the BRH are within the classical Golden Dawn method of banishing, will banish everything. It completely neutralizes every amount of energy there is, any bit. It doesn't matter whether it's positive, negative, etc. Everything has to go. It's like a clean sweep. Whereas a cleansing only removes the negative. It doesn't remove the positive. It only removes the bad, not the good. The extent to which it can do so. It's the same thing with the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram and the banishing ritual of the hexagram. Don't expect tremendous wonders. That every problem of yours is going to be solved. No, it's like taking a shower. Don't expect to take a shower and then immediately you're the cleanest person on the planet. You don't have a single bacteria on your body. Nah. Taking a shower essentially takes care of everything up to a moderate extent, generally speaking, but that's it. If someone were to come to me, just like I said earlier in this video, how I work is that I simply choose the best spirit for the job, or I use my own energy. And like I said, everything happens remotely. I don't have to talk to you. I don't have to do anything. I just home my intent. I home my intent in on you, and you'll be cleansed. The default rules, as is with everything, what you give is what you get in terms of effort. You get what you pay for, you name it. And that's essentially it. And how it works is that if I appoint a spirit, for example, my beloved Lord Samael, etc., then he's going to simply cleanse the person, the extent to which the person has has paid for. Essentially, again, you give what you give is what you get, and Samael will cleanse that person up to that extent, or up to that limit, or up to that point, regardless of what affliction has befallen the person or anything like that. Based on the potency of my work, again, even if I say so myself, that's a much better option, much better, because there is no limit in terms of strength or potency. It doesn't matter how afflicted you are, you can be healed. The highest of afflictions can be healed. If someone has like some legendary curse or something else is wrong with them, then yeah, I would generally speaking have to use my own divine God power, and yeah, that's essentially it. But like I said, what you give is what you get. I can remove a lot more if the person says, hey, listen, I don't care how much it costs. I don't care if it's like 500, it's like $500,000, etc. I don't care. Okay, I just want everything removed at any cost. I'm like, okay, no problem. And yeah, the person will be cleansed to the fullest of extents, in a matter of speaking. Just common sense tells you that. But yeah, anyways, that's how these cleansing techniques work. I repeat, that's how these cleansing techniques work. It simply involves using cleansing properties and combining that in a bath-like format, or converting that to a bath-like format, BATH, a bath-like format. And yeah, for the rest, it's simply rinse and repeat. Like I said, it's the spiritual equivalent, purely the spiritual equivalent of taking a shower. If you take a shower and you literally don't use soap or anything like that, no cleansing agent, then obviously it's not going to be nearly as effective. You're not nearly going to be as clean as you were if you used soap and shampoo and stuff like that. The whole point of using cleansing agents, not just on yourself, but you can notice it with inanimate objects as well, is to remove any kind of dirt or any kind of stain or any kind of impurity from the inanimate object in question, or if you're taking a bath, from your physical body. And yeah, that's essentially it. And for the rest, it's literally just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. You keep doing it over and over again until you're completely clean. Those are the mechanics in terms of how a spiritual bath works. Anyways, that is it. I hope this was, as always, very interesting for everybody that watched, or was watching, or is watching, and until next time.